So usually I'll be sprinting on this road, but today I'm just taking it easy. I'm just trying to ensure that I get over 10,000 steps today. So I won't be going to the gym. Like usually today would be a gym day, but because I was away for the weekend, it's like a mini rest period to get my mind right and to get back on track. 2-3 months ago, I was going through a lot of stress and I was injured one day and I went to the hospital and they checked my blood pressure. My blood pressure was very high. However, the doctors told me not to worry about it because they said that an ill body will always reflect elevated blood pressure. But guys, I was worrying and I'm not sure if that led to even more elevated blood pressure. So what they encouraged me to do was to give it some time, a week or so, and go to my GP. So I went. I never went to my GP though. At the time, I had an appointment to do an in-body assessment and they did the blood pressure check. It was a little lower than the previous week, but it was still considered high. But as you know, one reading cannot determine, because this would be a true reading. The last week was 6, so this would be my reading 1. One reading can't determine whether you're hypertensive or not. So they gave me that talk. It was a good experience in that I've had friends who they go to the doctor and they do one test and the doctor is giving them medication. Like this doctor took the right approach with me, I would say. I never had a bad experience. This doctor gave me that whole lifestyle talk, and probably this was due to the fact that I was at a wellness center. So she underscored the importance of sleep. She told me that, she asked me, because she knows I'm in fitness, she asked me if I was taking magnesium. And at the time I knew magnesium was good, but I never knew the strong relationship between magnesium and helping in lowering blood pressure. So she told me to double up on the amount that I was taking. I told her how much I was taking and she told me to double up. And to be honest, even when I told her the amount I was taking, in my mind I kind of felt guilty because I knew that I wasn't taking it every day. So in talking to her, that made me really get serious and regimented with my supplements. So sometimes people ask me what's my why. Like I wouldn't say I have one particular why, but it's situations like these, it's thoughts like these whenever I'm in my bed. I've gotten 8 hours rest just now and I still have enough time before I start my day job. So why not get out? Why not go for a 1 hour walk and tick that fitness task off your list of things to do? Guys, it's raining today, but I think I'm still getting the last of the fall views. I'm definitely in love with the fall foliage. And sometimes I have difficulty when I come out with my recording device. Like I'm here to vlog, but sometimes I'm just in awe with nature. Like I take so many videos and photos sometimes, and I don't even post them or anything. Sometimes I'll just sit and just look back at the photos that I take. As you all know, I'm from St. Mary, Jamaica. That's considered the rural part of the island. So growing up, we never had many examples of success, and I'm trying to be careful because I'm always mindful of people telling these stories, and they try to belittle, or as we would say in Jamaica, small up their past to make their accomplishments seem bigger than what they are. So let me start by saying that this is the first I'm even going into a story like this on my vlog. Let me start by saying I had challenges growing up, but I would still consider myself privileged. You know why? Privileged in that there's never a moment growing up when I never felt love. There were moments of lack, yes, when we never had material stuff. And I'm not belittling anyone's story who grew up in a similar situation, and to them it was a bigger obstacle, because I believe mindset has a lot to do with conceptualization of obstacles. So long story short, I'm on this walk and it's just making me reflect on a question. Have you ever been in a situation whereby you feel like it was the end of the road, like you couldn't see a way out, and then somehow that issue became a non-issue? Why is it then that whenever we are in future situations of hardships, we don't reflect on these moments to somewhat bring us comfort and peace, no matter what you're going through in life? And I'm not any less brown or or ET or any motivational speaker, but this is just my own personal experience, and I'm sure I'm using my own personal experience to ask you to reflect and look into your own personal experience. I remember I would do this in a company, I'll do this as a different story, but I remember just having $100 to go to work. Thank God it was just payday, and had I not gotten paid that day, I couldn't make it back home. I used that $100 to get to work. But these are the things I think about when I'm doing cardio like this. So people ask me why. My why is much bigger than just a transaction, a physical endeavor. I'm not just doing this for abs. Like, fitness is my therapy. Thank you guys for watching. I know I'm saying this so often because I watch a lot of YouTube channels, and I have a personal view on the whole subscription and asking people to subscribe. Yes, I definitely want to ask you guys to subscribe, but I feel like I have to earn it. So I remember when I was at university, my first exam, can never forget it, was Calculus 1. It was my first exposure to calculus. I was excited. I heard a lot about calculus. Even the word itself made me sound bright to be telling people back home, hey, I'm studying calculus in sixth form. I'd hear a lot about calculus. I never did math up to sixth form level, so it was my first experience. So I started, guys, and I would study hard. Remember, my first exam was a quiz that was worth 20% of our final score. Guys, I studied so hard, and even reflecting on that moment, those study sessions, I am now finding out something about myself. Like, a lot of times I will study and be ahead of the class, but in my mind, like, I'll give myself a reward, and usually that reward is I ease up off the gas. So I would go to class knowing that, hey, I've studied the material 3 weeks in advance. So the current class, because I'm ahead per se, I am behind here. Because other than pressing gas and going, I reward myself. And even on this fitness journey, I hear a lot of people with the same thing, and I have done it. Like, today I do an hour cardio because I know that tomorrow I want to do 20. Because why? I feel like I need to reward myself for what I did yesterday. So if we can only get out of that mindset. Oh, get out of that mindset to reward ourselves. Push, continue to chase that journey and reward yourself less, because that in itself will be the reward. If you do it the right way and enjoy the journey along, you won't feel that need to reward yourself, because the journey itself will be the reward. Guys, I remember when I was growing up, at the time my mom was at work and she would call the house. Yeah, because at the time we never had cell phones. She would call the house and she would tell me that I should put on some rice. That's what she said, I should put on some rice. I was at the age to turn on the stove. She taught me that, but I've never cooked. I mean, she would give me like tips and all of that, but none of it made sense. But I think the one thing that she knew that I had an idea of how to do was how to cook rice. Yeah, because she gave me more tips doing that. Like that was like my initiation meal. And it's important to me, guys. Like, I know it's not the end of the road, but for me, trust me, what happened was at that time, like I was so nervous, guys. So I started cooking the rice. The first major challenge was turning on the stove. That was my first solo time, turning on the stove. I think I remember being, I don't want to lie, but I probably was in primary school or first form at high school. I'm not sure. But anyway, I was young enough to be scared. So that was my first time. So I passed that challenge. I turned on the gas stove, and as you guys know, like, gas stove is very dangerous. Like, and as a safety measure, you turn off the gas each time you cook. So my mom would do that. So turning on the stove for me wasn't just lighting the match and turning the knobs. It was turning the regulator on the gas stove, and for me that was huge. So I did that. I turned on the fire. The fire was on for about 5 minutes, I tell you guys, before, because I didn't even wash the rice yet. So I had to wash the rice, and I never wanted to turn it off and then turn it on again. So long story short, I overestimated the amount of water that to put in the rice. Guys, the rice was cooking and I saw smoke coming from the rice. The rice was soft and I didn't know what to do. So I continued cooking it. I turned it down. Long story short, the rice came out with a cake consistency. Everything was glued together. If, like I always tell my friends, had I stop the rice, the entire rice would come up on the knife. But I was so nervous, guys. Like, I remember the day hearing mom, the key turning in the door, and the more that key rotated and the sounds, and you know that the door, that creaky sound is coming from the door, guys. I started trembling because I thought I was in so much trouble. And I often sit down since being an adult. I often sit and wonder, why was I so nervous about that situation? Was it that? And I sometimes feel bad because, like, to be fair to my mom, she didn't really give me any reason to be so fearful in that particular situation. But I was like, and I'm not sure if it's like the perfectionist side of me, and it was really disappointment. I never even knew how to break it to her. So as soon as the door was open, I ran to her, I hugged her, guys, and I said, "Mommy, I spoiled the rice." Aunt hugged me when I got that disappointing 6 years old, and in this moment my mom gave me such a warm embrace, and she said that, "Hey, don't worry about it." Those weren't her exact words, but whatever she said, that was what I got. Like, don't worry about it. And guys, the next morning I was making breakfast. Like, she made sure to like give me more one-on-one time, and that was so important to me, guys. Like, cooking is my passion project and fitness is more the lifestyle. I love both of them dearly. So thank you guys for support. Thank you guys for watching. I think I'm still, to be honest, I still have 15 more minutes. So if this video continues, something else came to my mind or something else interesting came to mind. But you know what, I'll end this video by showing some more beautiful views of the fall foliage while I walk home. So thank you guys, this is the official closing of this video. I really appreciate it, and I'm really just out here trying to bring raw, I might just say unedited, yeah, because the editing that goes into these videos, there aren't much. It's pretty much just for flow and all of that, but no, there's no manipulation of the content of the videos, or no editing from that perspective. So on this channel you'll get the raw, and I will say unedited in quotes, unedited version of pretty much just stories of my life that I think are important, and I'm hoping will at least help one person.